Well, game journalists are at it again, showing how much of clowns they actually are because Metroid Dread is driving them insane because they don't know how to play games. But it gets worse because Kotaku is trying to actually promote piracy of the game. This is why the reputation goes down the drain. Hey, what is going on, everybody? How are you all doing today? I hope you all are having a wonderful and fantastic day today, and if not, hopefully you all will have a better tomorrow. Metroid Dread recently came out, and I gotta say, I've started playing a little bit of it, had a little bit of time to do so, and it really has me hooked. I've played for a few hours, and good game. Very good. I like that it's a continuation after Fusion, because, Fusion in the timeline of the games, that is. Not like when they came out, but, like in the historical timeline, Fusion was the last game. So this obviously takes place after that, and I mean, it's really good. I'm enjoying it so far. Definitely a fun, challenging game, and it's just like the old Metroid. I really like it. With obviously a few improvements, graphics and whatnot. Now, when it comes to game journalists, though, they think it's too hard. Because, let's be real, game journalists, you can't trust them. Now, why can't you trust game journalists? Oh, well, because they're nothing but a bunch of hack activists, and they don't really care about video games. Because what they do is they play the game just so they can get it out, have an article fresh up there first before anybody else, because they get the games for free. And then they have stuff like this at the Washington Post. Metroid Dread is a great story wrapped in a hand-cramping, confusing grind. Like, really? Oh, but it gets worse. You think that's the end of it. Which, we're going to take a look at another review, like probably one of the worst ones I've seen. You got to look at this from Kotaku. So this is the original article. This is archived. And whoever archived this, good job to you. Because they've altered this. But what the article is Metroid Dread is already running great on Switch emulators. Only days after release, you can play the latest entry in Nintendo's classic franchise in a 4K using an emulator. I'm not even kidding. They're literally promoting piracy of a brand new game. This is ridiculous. Like, you want to talk about game journalists being complete and total jokes? This right here. This is the way to be a complete total joke. And to think, like, Nintendo and Microsoft and Sony, they all think that these are people that they should listen to. Now, this part has been edited out of the original article. So this is what the original article stated. Hey, real quick, if you are a Nintendo lawyer or employee, just don't read this. It was a silly mistake. Ignore this blog. You can go now. Okay, everyone else. Metroid Dread was officially released on October 8th, but copies got out into the wild a few days before that. And even after such a short time, the game is now fully playable in 4K via various Nintendo Switch emulators. It's a solid game with some nice looking visuals and surprisingly tricky boss fights. It is a Switch exclusive, as you might expect, but all you need is a Switch emulator and a decently powerful PC, and you can play Dread on your computer right now, and it looks great.
You stupid, ignorant son of a bitch, dumb bastard! Jesus Christ, I've met some dumb bastards in my time, but you outdo them all. Get over there!
Ladies and gentlemen, this is modern day game journalism. This is the clown show that is game journalists. This is why nobody trusts game journalists. And the funny thing is that before this article was altered, this top paragraph, hey, real quick, if you were a Nintendo lawyer or employee, just don't read this. It was really a mistake. Ignore this blog. You can go now. Okay, everyone else. That was there. That's no longer there in the article. Like I said, this is an archived article of when it originally came out. So this is before it was altered. That's when it was archived. And this is ridiculous. You can tell that they intentionally did this. And in the article, they even have links to the pirated site to where you can get it. I'm not even kidding. This is how bad this article is. They were intentionally doing this to sabotage this game. That's why they've done this. This shows you how awful Kotaku is, and this is why you can't trust these game journalists, because they're not really gamers. They're just a bunch of activists. And, don't get me wrong, I'd like to see Metroid Dread in 4K. Don't get me wrong, I would. That would be great. But it's on the Switch. I'm still fine with that, though. It's not the worst thing ever. But still, this is insane that they would want to promote pirating this game. I mean, like I said, the joke that is game journalism. This is it right here. I can't further find a better example of what a complete joke this is. And this is Kotaku. This is official. This is real. It blew me away. I was actually shocked when I saw this. Like, this was how ridiculous this was. And listen to this. Of course, it's possible that certain areas of the game perform worse on certain PC setups, and depending on your computer specs and software setup, Dread via Illumination can be a total shit show. But it seems that for most folks with moderately powerful CPUs, things are looking damn good. Oh man, Nintendo's going to be furious. I wouldn't doubt it if they sued because of this. And Kotaku's not the only site doing this. PC Gamer is also. Watch Metroid Dread running on PC thanks to emulators.
What are you?
An idiot sandwich.
Like, you can't make this up. And people question why game journalists are complete and total idiots. This is exactly why right here. You know, they push their activism. They try to say, oh, games need easier settings so that we can play them. Because they're not gamers, first off. And now here they are with actual promotion of piracy. Like, this is ridiculous. Metroid Dread has only just released on Nintendo Switch, and it's already fully playable from the start to finish in 2 different Switch emulators on PC. They're talking about the emulators here, which displays games in their native resolution, seems to run Metroid Dread smoothly, while some are using another emulator, which lets you increase the resolution, are reporting stutters. Like, this is one of the most insane things I've ever seen in my entire life. They're actually trying to promote people to steal the game. They're endorsing that. Look, right here, this is an example to Nintendo, to Microsoft, to Sony. Don't give these people games for free. Don't let them have early copies for free. Let them buy the game. Let that happen. Let them just buy the game. They want to review it, let them buy it like anybody else. Don't let them get special copies. You know, because if they're going to promote, just be like, oh, hey, look, here's an emulator instead. You go do that. If they're going to promote that, make them buy the games. Don't give them free copies anymore. See, what this could do is this could cause more problems. This means that this could obviously crack down on sales being worse than they could be, obviously, which that would not be good, because I would like to see this game actually be successful. You know, it's going by well, apparently, so far, amongst fans, amongst the UK. It's the highest selling Metroid game. It's going well. But with this will help lessen sales. And that's not good. But of course, leave it to these activists to definitely be commies. I'm not in the slightest surprised that they would support that. You know, be anti-capitalist. That's not a shock to me. In fact, you know what? Game companies, do not do business with these people. Don't do business with them at all. I'm just saying, don't do business with them. And when it came to reviews, a bunch of game journalists are like, oh, this game's too hard. Oh. Which this review really goes into. They were like, oh no, I'm having a hard time with this game. It's challenging. Metroid Dread is a thrilling twist on a classic, but it made me miserable. Games don't have to be grueling to be great. But the challenge is what people look for in a game. They look for a good game, and they also look for the challenge of it, because when you beat it, you feel like you accomplished something. But of course, you know, they're not real gamers, so they wouldn't know this. It's not that Metroid Dread is a bad video game. I never want to touch it again. If masochistically punishing games aren't your thing, I strongly recommend avoiding it. Gotta love how they say it's not a bad game, but yet they're trying to tell people to avoid it. That's like saying, oh look, cute cuddly little kittens over there that couldn't harm a fly. Oh man, look at that. It's not that they're bad or anything, but, you know, you should probably avoid them because it's grueling and punishing. That would be ridiculous. Like, that's the contradictory of these people. This is what you always see. They try to say that, oh, it's not bad, it's not bad. But then they actually just dog it. They dogpile on it and talk so much shit as much as they possibly can. You will notice this. This is a trend with them. I mean, they do this all the time. And then here they are complaining about the difficulty of the game. That's where and why Metroid Dread is a resounding failure for me. You can't change the difficulty or make the experience more accessible. There are no compromises that might ease the pain of a particularly challenging encounter. Learn how to play the game, dumbass. Oh god, that's what gamers do. They learn how to play the game. If you get stuck on a boss for 2 hours, well, hopefully you'll get the handle of it before the third hour passes, or the fourth, or later, because that's your only option. Seriously, it's so stupid. Like, they don't adapt to games because they don't care about playing these games. The only thing that they care about doing is trying to get this out as soon as possible so they can get all the most clicks on their reviews. That's exactly what they're doing here. And they try to bring down the game because, oh, I can't play it because it's too hard. Because they're not gamers. And everybody knows it. They've probably never played a Metroid game in their life. Of course, they also tried to say that this was like Dark Souls. And they were talking about how they had to, keep their eyes on the map a lot. Here's the thing. The whole point is to study the map because you don't know where you're going. So you have to figure out. In Metroid games, you have to figure out where you're going. Like, you have to figure out the locations. You have to memorize it. That's how the games have always been. So this tells me that they have not ever played a Metroid game. Like, this is new to them. And which they go on in this article to say that, oh, I love Metroid. I love Metroid. Really? Do you love Metroid? Because I don't believe they've ever played Metroid, period. You know, they say they're a longtime Metroid fan. I highly question that. Yeah, I don't think they are. I think it's just like to put up face, like, oh, I'm a fan. And then they don't talk about it. Kind of funny how in this review they didn't try to talk about anything about it actually being continuation from Fusion or anything of that sort. And, here's the thing. If they ever played a Metroid game, they probably played the worst one, which was Other M. God, that's actually a game Metroid fans don't typically talk about, because Other M is garbage. We don't talk about Other M. We don't talk about Other M. But I wouldn't doubt it. If that's like the one that they say that they played, they're like, oh, it's the best Metroid game ever. And then I'd be like, oh, no. It is not. Far from it. What is it? So it's cool new ideas like this that really make Metroid Dread a heartbreaker for me. I love the tension of the EMMIs bring to the mix, the bots. It's plenty stressful to get a boss's health down low when Samus only has a sliver of health or of energy left. Have you ever played the other Metroid games? This is the same thing. I mean, it's difficult. That's kind of the point. I love how they have a problem with the bosses. You ever played a Metroid game, you'll understand some of them are pretty hard. Oh, God. Oh, man. Oh, this is priceless. It's not one particular thing that broke Metroid Dread's spell for me. The real issue is how fundamentally unfriendly it is as an overall experience. It's challenging, but the challenge is a solid vertical wall here. There is nothing in the way of help for players who can't climb that wall. You're expected to just be patient, keep trying, and to borrow one of the more annoying gamer troll catchphrases, get good. Can't even spell that right. That you can't even get the meme right. Oh my. Okay. No, you're not a gamer. That tells me everything. You're not a gamer. Tells me everything. Oh, and then this part right here. See, okay, so as you've seen, they're like, oh, well, I don't hate this game. I don't hate this game. If you notice, they've just basically dogged it the whole time. Like, they've talked about how much of a grueling experience it is to them. And yet they were like, it's not a bad game. It's not a bad game. But this is the way they paint it, as a bad game to them. You see what I mean? This is the typical way that they work. They'll try to say, something's not bad. It's not bad, but it's really, really, really bad. And they just have, like, these long reviews of this. It's a damn shame. I love Metroid. I want to play all the Metroid and experience its whole story for myself. Like I said, I don't think they're a fan. Like, how many times have they said, like, it's heartbreaking, or I've loved this game? How many times have they said this in this review? You can tell they're trying real hard to sell you that, oh, we're a fan, when they're not really a fan. You can tell that they don't know jack shit about Metroid. I just find this insane that, sites like Kotaku and PC Gamer, for example, are trying to just, like, get people to steal the game. Like, that's absolutely absurd. I hope this game sells well, because it should sell well. We waited 19 years since Fusion for a game like this. 19 years. I don't want to wait another 19, 20, 25 years even, potentially. Let's hope it's never that long. For another one. And this could actually help that problem occur. That would not be good. I mean, I hope this game sells well enough that they make another Metroid, within the next year or two. To get another story together and get a good game, constructed. I'd love to see it. Because, I mean, we're getting Metroid Prime 4 in the future, and I hope that turns out well. I really do, because, I mean, I'm excited for it. But, I mean, we'll just have to see how it goes. But this is the exact reason why game companies should not give free copies to game journalists, because of things like this. But anyways, let me know what you think about this entire situation down below. Subscribe to the channel if you were new here, and make sure you were still subscribed, because YouTube is unsubscribing people from all their favorite channels. So make sure you were still subscribed to all your favorite channels. Hit the video with a like, and also be sure to share the video on social media. Spread the word and get it out there. It's greatly appreciated, and it really helps out the channel a lot. Also, be sure to follow me on both Discord and Minds. We have a wonderful community there. Not only that, but it will keep you up to date on when the newest videos will be released, as well as any other upcoming events in the near future. So be sure to follow me on both Discord and Minds. The links are in the description down below. But anyways, I hope you all have yourselves a wonderful and fantastic day today. And remember, if today was not a good day, tomorrow could always be better. Take care of yourselves and everyone around you. And have yourselves a good one out there, everybody.